good, everybody? Welcome back to Us Boxing. Back again with another rankings video. So we got the IBF, you know what I'm saying? They just dropped, so we're gonna touch on them. We got some news from late last night about the IBF and Jai Battaglia. We're gonna get into that. Before I do, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Drop your comments. It's all good and much appreciated as well. So we're gonna get into it. Just Do Boxing. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. So we do a screen share. I go straight to the Sanctioned Body website. So anybody that's interested to follow the rankings, go to each Sanctioned Body website, and then you can get what you need. All right. So heavyweight division. Usyk is still IBF champion, IBF, WBA, and WBC. We know he's defending his WBC title against Rico in May in Egypt. I'm actually interested in that. I want to see how that backdrop look in Egypt, fighting in front of the pyramids. That shit dope to me. But far as the fight, I ain't really too interested. Is this a money grab? We know what it is. But the other two sanctioned bodies have not sanctioned that fight as of yet. The IBF and WBA. So it's interesting to see what they're gonna do. Hakan in the building. What's good with you? Salute, salute. Appreciate you coming through. So we know IBF. The IBF is the strictest sanctioned body, and they just follow their rules, and that comes off as being strict. They just follow their rules, and that's something that the other sanctioned bodies don't do. The WBO is actually better. They're doing good, but the WBA and WBC, they basically, make up shit as they go, as it seems. So, I think they probably strip Usyk. I think they'll probably strip Usyk right here at the IBF. Now, the WBA, I'm not so sure, but I can see the IBF stripping him because they're not going to allow you to fight somebody not in the top 15 for the world title. And, this guy only had one pro fight, whatever, so more than likely the IBF will probably strip Usyk. You know what I'm saying? I know Derek Chisora and his team is trying to fight for the vacant title against Wilder. As you guys see, Wilder is not ranked as of yet. It's a possibility that Wilder could come in the top 15 in the next ranking, which, that's not really nothing above the ordinary because Wilder is a former world champion. And maybe they will, put him in like the top 15, whatever. I don't know. But that may be a long shot. The IBF is pretty, they're pretty down the line about their rules. So we'll see. Of course, Chisora and Wilder, that's April the 4th. Frank Sanchez and Richard Torres is fighting the final eliminator, March 28th. Yeah, I seen Sanchez recent picture. He still got a wrap on his knee that he had scoped last year, I believe. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Hopefully he's healthy enough to put up a good effort against the tough, strong Richard Torres who is coming. Lawrence Okolie is gonna fight Tony Yoka April 25th. That's solid. That's gonna be in France. Philip Herkovich, from my understanding, he's gonna sign with Zuffa, but I haven't heard nothing official. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I think I'm not sure if he's dealing with Queensberry anymore. Richard Rapport is going to face Jamie TKV. That could be a solid fight. Martin Bacoli. Haven't heard much on him. Moses Atama is facing Jermaine Franklin on the 28th of this month. There's a possibility that Moses could get elevated, in the WBA. I don't know. We'll have to see because we got Gassiev as a regular champion and so on and so forth. Arslanbek Mahmudov is going to face Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is coming back off a layoff. I'm not saying retirement. It's a layoff. So that's April the 11th. So that's what it is. All right. Cruiserweight. So this, the biggest news overnight, Jai Battaglia will be stripped of his IBF title as soon as he steps in the ring with Brandon Glanton. At the press conference yesterday, he said that everything was good, that the title was on the line. Now, Battaglia signed with Zuffa, Dana White, those guys ain't really recognizing the other sanctioned bodies. So I mean, this ain't no big surprise. You know what I'm saying? And this is the second time Obitaya been stripped of his IBF title. The first time was against Ellis Zorro, where the IBF didn't want to sanction that fight. You know what I'm saying? And then we seen what happened. So, it's politics at the end of the day. It's good to understand and know what's going on, but like I always say, the fights are more important than the politics. So, if you're really looking at the style matchup of Obitaya and Glanson, it can't be a bad fight, from my understanding. It can't be unless something else happened and something I don't know about. We know Brandon Glenn is gonna bring that smoke. Obitaya is a vicious knockout puncher, but he got some wrinkles in his game where he can box, and he looked vulnerable in his last fight. So Glenn may have an opportunity. We'll see. That's tomorrow, March the 8th, on Zuffa Boxing. Now with the title becoming vacant, former champion CBS Chris Bennett Smith is right there. You know what I'm saying? To fight for the vacant title. Number 4, you got Masanek. He's actually fighting number 7, Vidal Riley. Now I can see the promoters of that event because they fighting on the Wilder and Shazor undercard. Maybe they try to make that eliminator. You know what I'm saying? 4 and 7. That's pretty nice. Pretty high in the rankings. Maybe they do that. They should at least just to guarantee one of those guys a spot at the world title if they win. So we'll have to see. David Naika is in position. Floyd Masson is pretty highly ranked. He has a fight coming up. Masson. Let me see who else got something coming. We've seen Lanier Perez on Thursday. He got a win over Shalember, but he probably should have stopped him. Pat Brown, he'll be back April the 3rd. My guy Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through as always. Salute, bro. All right, light heavyweight Dimitri Bivol. He requested more time to fight his mandatory IBF mandatory Michael Eifert. Those guys have been postponing this event or this negotiations for a minute. I can see Bivol versus Eifert on the Usyk card in Egypt and Beterbiev. Put them all on the same card. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see that shit. They haven't announced the undercard yet for that event, but I can see that. Maybe that's why they're pushing it back. Conor Wallace is number 2, but he's like on the outside looking in. I know Eddie Hearn just signed a new TV deal in Australia, so maybe Conor Wallace would be a part of that. Among Katiev, that's a nice ranking right there. Yeah, I like that. Uh, Katiev, I thought he beat Morrell last year. I didn't like the PED scandal situation, but I guess they cleared him. But Katiev, he can be fighting for a eliminator. We'll see. In Smolov, we got Ben Whitaker, who's supposed to make his U.S. debut on maybe he got pushed back to May on the Boost Ennis undercard in the U.S. So we'll see. Let me see who got something. I think Daniel Lapin has a fight coming up. I can't remember. Joshua Bawaxi. So that would be my if Beterbiev is going to fight next. I think that's a good fight for Beterbiev, Joshua Bawaxi. Willie Hutchinson got a good fight coming up against Ezra Taylor, number 14. So 10 versus 14. March 28th on Moses undercard. Najee Lopez is fighting March 14th on Pro Box. Atif Overton just fought, but he had a scary situation in his fight. Hopefully he can get back. And then number 15, Cross. So he's an interesting guy. Big puncher, entertainer. He just signed with Boxer as well. So let's see what they got for him. Super middleweight, the title is vacant, but in a couple of weeks, well, about a month, almost a month away from the vacant title fight between Ulis Iglesias versus Pavel Sagnani. They're going to fight for the vacant title April the 9th in Canada. So that's what's up. We know this title was left vacant by Crawford when he retired. Iglesias, I like him. I think Iglesias can prove to be one of the best guys at 168. He got a vicious style as well. Kind of remind me of Morrell in a sense. Both of them Cubans. But yeah, that's a solid fight. That's tricky too because the Russian Pavel is coming to win. He ain't just coming to lay down. So yeah, that's April the 9th. Iglesias versus Sagani. Canelo, he'll be back in September from all reports. You know what I'm saying? He just had elbow surgery. He's gonna sit out until he's ready for September. Hamza Shiraz, Jaime McGill, those guys just waiting around. Shiraz supposed to fight for the vacant WBO, but it haven't been announced officially. Jaime McGill talks about him fighting on that Egypt card, May 23rd, and then then fighting on Canelo's card. So let's see who they pick for him for that. Um, I was thinking maybe Jaime would get on that Cinco de Mayo card, Zerto and Benavidez, but who knows? Troy Williamson, he missed out on a big opportunity to fight for the vacant title against Iglesias. He had beat Connor Simpson. Connor Simpson had a rematch clause. He executed. Then he pulled out last minute. So by the time he pulled out, Iglesias already had a vacant title fight opponent. So Troy Williamson, he's going to fight Simon Zuckenhammer on the Tyson Fury undercard. So, and from my understanding, he still have to fight Callum Simpson after that. So that's crazy. He missed out on a world title opportunity, man. You know, not saying he was gonna win, but at least getting the opportunity. PGH Big Dog, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. All right, Dale Pacheco. You know, I don't know. He turned down Shiraz. He said he needed to work on his team and he got a new management company. I know he got one fight left with Matchroom. Maybe he's trying to wait out and trying to be a free agent. So I'm not sure, but he turned down a big opportunity. Jacob Bank is fighting the WBC Eliminator coming up April 25th. I like him. Pretty solid. Kevin Sajo, I seen that he has a fight coming up. Avia Zoran, he's another guy from Denmark. He fought on Jacob Banks' card. Pretty solid. And Beck the Bully is the WBA mandatory, and he trying to enforce his position to fight Resendez. So we'll see where that goes. All right, middleweight. Janabek is still unified champion. You know, we see the ruling that the WBO made. They just suspended him. They didn't strip him, and he has to go into 365 drug testing and come out of his own pocket. He can't fight before December 6th, 2026. So he's out for a year. So the IBF haven't made a ruling, but as you see, they still have him as champion. So currently he's unified. And he kind of got a loophole, kind of like Alicia Baumgartner. They both said that they ingested PEDs unknowingly, so they getting the benefit of the doubt. So it's what y'all take that forever y'all want to take it. So yeah. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do with the official mandatory. Maybe Olaha is the mandatory since he won the eliminator. I know Shaquille Thompson versus what's my man's name? Brad Pauls. They're gonna fight March 28th. So Shaquille Thompson's in a good spot. I like Aaron McKenna right there. Amari Jones. Those guys are up and coming, solid fighters. Eddie asks about Matchroom 2 boxes, April 11th. Hunie Williamson said, don't think Williamson fights is happening. Okay. What about the Hunie fight? Because I know he got that the Australian deal, and you know I know he wanted to feature Justice Hunie on there. So yeah, okay. He missed out on a big opportunity at the world title though. That was crazy. Yeah, I like Amari Jones. I like Aaron McKenna. We haven't seen Aaron McKenna in a minute. Hopefully he get back active. You know, he lost a lot of momentum after beating former champion Liam Smith. And coming up on a year, bro, haven't fought. That's crazy. And he a young fighter too. Callum Wash, Zuffa boxing. Vito is coming back April the 11th, Pro Box. Jihad Tucker just had a win, but you know, under the radar win. He got a 6-round stoppage. I like to see him in the mix. Jihad Tucker can fight. I know he turned down Yo-Yo Hernandez for money, but they can make that happen. And they can always circle back. I like Yuri Cedeno too, top ranked fighter, southpaw puncher. George Ladard is fighting what's his fight date? March 21st. Pretty solid. He said it's happening. Okay. Okay, I think I like Hyuna in that fight. 154, Josh Kelly is the IBF champion. He beat Bakram Mutazaliev. Close fight. Bakram, it was such a close fight that he tried to get a immediate rematch, and the IBF turned him down. So he's high enough in the rankings where once they refresh after Brandon Adams and Kevin Ajako, he'll be like the top rated guy. So we know Adams Jarko is going to fight April the 11th in Vegas. IBF final eliminator. That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that. Look at Nikita Zoo, number 6. That's nice. He gonna mess around and get an opportunity because his team is very aggressive. Bakari Samaki, number 7. He's gonna fight a WBA eliminator. Oh yeah, Ladar versus Denny. That's not a bad fight. If Denny can get back to his boxing, yeah, that's not bad. That's a good fight for that for the domestic level. Yeah, I like that. Um, Bakari Samaki, he's fighting on the Okoli and Yoka undercard, a WBC final eliminator. Look at Danny Garcia. They got Danny Garcia in at number 13. Isn't that crazy? Danny Garcia. That's funny. So look, they ain't doing that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? They are not doing that for no reason. Like Danny Garcia is a former world champion, you know, highly decorated on the tail end of his career. Him jumping in at number 13 in the new IBF rankings, that's a pause for us to think. Like, hold on, what they got cooking? He gotta have a fight lined up because the IBF don't normally do this. Danny Garcia is active. He fought in October. I thought that was his farewell fight. Bakram versus another Zoo will begin in Australia. Man, would they take that? Oh, that would be crazy. I know Australia. Don't Australia has a nice Russian population? Yeah, that would be dope. I think Kathy and his team is gonna wait for. I think they're gonna wait and see can they get another eliminator. You know what I'm saying? But that is interesting, bro. If they would accept it, I know their team is down for that because they very aggressive with their matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see. But yeah, that Danny Garcia, so that's interesting. So look, I know Josh Kelly and the unified champion Xander Zayas has been going back and forth about negotiating and making a fight. Maybe Josh Kelly getting a big name like Danny Garcia to go over there. We know PBC fighters has been more available to go across, you know what I'm saying, the water or go to other people's backyard to fight now since they really don't got a lot of motion. So that's interesting. That's real interesting. Let me see who else we got. Freddie Rojas, we haven't heard from him. Conor Ben signed with Zulfa for that one fight. Giovanni Santillan, he fought on Xander's undercard, but he didn't look that good. I don't know if you guys saw that fight against Courtney Pennington. He looked so-so. And I know he was vying for opportunity against Xander, but the way he looked, I don't think that should even deserve it. So we're gonna see. Who else we got? Yeah, Ben Mahoney. I think he got a fight coming up. And Andres Kakarakis is free agent as it look like overtime is out of business. So hopefully somebody can pick him up. All right, welterweight. We got Lewis Crocker. His fight with Leon Paro got postponed. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see what's up with that with him. If they're gonna reschedule that. I know they had it planned for in April, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're gonna reschedule for like June or something, or however that shit gonna work out. So yeah, that's an important fight for the division because you know we got other stuff going on the other side with Devin Haney and Rowley possibly unifying pretty soon, May the 30th. So the winner of that can be in position because this is a mandatory fight. Um, the winner of this can be in position for a big fight, maybe a unification, because a lot of people have been calling out Lewis Crocker. Everybody been calling him out. They think he an easy lick, but we'll see. Patty Donovan and Karen Shikaza have been ordered to negotiate for a final eliminator. So they actively in a free negotiation period. That's a solid fight. Karen can get back in the mix as a mandatory. Ricardo Salas is signed with Zuffa. He's gonna fight tomorrow on that Java Tire card against Jesus Sriracha. Not bad. Not a bad fight. Curiel, Golden Boy, like him. Jack Catterall is supposed to go to Fresno to fight Jose Ramirez. So they're working on that. Brian Norman got a new trainer, Ronnie Shields. He should be back soon, hopefully. Vladimir Matseyev, he's a good fighter from Russia. He's pretty good. Polanco, Tiger Johnson, Kenny Sims, he got a big fight coming up for his career. Next week, he's facing Arnold Barbosa. That's a must win for both guys. Must win. Conor Walker, he's in talks to face Sam Egerton. That's going to be a war. I take that. I take that. That's going to be a good fight. 140, Richardson Hitchens is the IBF champion. He has a mandatory set with, well, not set, but it was ordered. Adolfo Delgado. It looked like he's going to take it. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I know they're negotiating. He in a tough spot, man, because he don't have a home. He's a promotional free agent. I'm not sure how locked in he is with Turkey. I don't know. He do have a great manager with Keith Conley, but he probably can only do but so much. You feel me? Um, so I can see Top Rank because Top Rank's still been willing and dealing and moving and grooving without a network deal. So maybe Top Rank try to win this purse bid. I don't think Top Rank gonna be bidding that high, and I don't see a lot of bidders for this. Y'all tell me. You know what I'm saying? So Hitchens might get like I can see them bidding like 400K for this, and I think Hitchens would get 65-35 because Delgado is the mandatory. So we'll see. Ramirez said he would not be ready for that date match. When looking at other names announcements. So okay, cool, appreciate you. And I really didn't like that fight anyway. So yeah, um, yeah, I think Catterall it's better opponents than welterweight that he can fight. Other than that guy. So yeah, even though Jose Ramirez former champion, but his last couple of performances, uh, Rancis, Barbosa, and Haney, he looked washed. And I don't think he probably been the same since the Josh Taylor fight, if we being honest. So yeah, I'm glad I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with that. I did see Jack Catterall said he'll be ready if Regis pull out. So yeah. Um, so yeah, we're gonna see what Hitchens actually do. I don't see a lot of people bidding for that fight. Oscar Duarte is number 3. Talks about him fighting on the Zerto Benavidez card. That's a good spot for him. Keyshawn number 4. Really no word of what's next for him. He's just out here campaigning and building his brand, which is actually good. A lot of people like it depends on if you like Keyshawn, you think you'll say he clout chasing whatever. If you like if you neutral, you just see what it is. For me, well, this for me speaking. I can't speak for nobody else. I like the promotion. We always complain about fighters don't promote and sell themselves, but this dude going on all these streams and these kids is actually tapped in. That's actually a good thing. But we'll see. He had a great performance against Jermaine Ortiz. Arthur Belasanov, I like him too. Fights in Canada, pretty solid. This is the time when boxers like Hitchens their promoter for sure. Facts. Because he liked to fight in New York. He complained about making weight on the West Coast. So I don't know. Yeah, because he's not really he's a solid name and he talking shit, but he's not a big draw commercially. So he's not a guy that's gonna sell out. He can't even sell out MSG, the small room. So it probably makes sense for Top Rank to win the purse bid and put it in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? That's where the market for that fight is at Arizona or even Mexico. They can tag team with Zanford Boxing. So he said Keyshawn just calling out everyone. but his BFF. That's what he's supposed to do. Why would you call out your best friend if you keep saying you're not gonna fight him? That don't make no sense. That's worse than clout chasing. If you keep saying you're not gonna fight him, what's the point of calling him out? Yeah, yeah, I won't call him out either. If I say I'm not gonna fight him, because what's gonna happen when you? I appreciate that, smash the like button. If they fight, if they're gonna take it easy on each other. Why we want to see a fight if they keep saying, "Man, I love him, my brother, don't fight him." We want to see them fight. People only want to see them fight because they don't like him. It's not because uh they the two best in the division. No, no. It's because you don't really like them. You want to fight each other. Both of y'all just go fight each other. We don't fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because the energy is not the same across the board. The Charlos ain't fighting Laura. Yo Hernandez ain't trying to fight Laura. Adamas ain't fighting Laura. He said he don't want to fight Laura. No smoke. It's just because those guys in the algorithm and people don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, same shit always happen. It's happening. It's a lot of people say they won't fight. It's just not public like that. You know what I'm saying? Look. If the title becomes vacant in the IBF, would Delgado fight Duarte? They're in the same team. Would they fight each other, or would they go different routes? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, of course, don't call him out. Call out everybody else but him. Gabriel Valenzuela, he should get another opportunity. I thought he beat Delgado. Uh, Adam Azam is going to reschedule his fight with Gustavo Limos. They fighting for the number 2 spot. Y'all see the era they have. They got Kenny Sims ranked number 9 at 140 and number 12 at 147. That's a misprint. Somebody messed that up. So yeah. Adam Azam and Gustavo Limos they're gonna reschedule their fight. Look at Emiliano Vargas. He's climbing up the ranks for sure. He's gonna be a future star. Sean McComb and Michelle Rivera, those guys are fringe contenders at 140. So that's solid. Pierce O'Leary, he's fighting Maxie Hughes. Now they ain't stripping him. He said that they ordered Delgado, the mandatory. He had a certain window to fight his voluntary, which was Duarte, but of course that didn't go off. So they ordered his mandatory right away. So as of yet, I mean, he hasn't vacated or nothing like that. So he should be good. I'm saying a lot of these friends pop up in the same division now. He said, "What's up? What's good with you, bro?" Z Pacino. Yeah, I mean that don't mean that because we don't keep it. We want to keep the energy the same. We don't keep that energy the same. Fabio Wallace said he's not fighting Moses Atama. I ain't heard nobody go crazy on that. I don't know. That's a great ass fight too. But they friends, but they not the type of friends we like though. We want to see because they not they're not in the algorithm. They not what you call that shit. I don't know. They okay over there in the UK. They don't have to fight each other. That's cool. Lightweight. So Ray Mortala, IBF champion, he just fought his mandatory Andy Cruz. That was a solid fight too, very close and competitive. Competitive. Andy Cruz came up short. Mortala in a good position too. We'll see. Maybe he can get the Shakur fight. That can be for the Ring magazine. Maybe they do that. Um, Other than that, it's not a lot of options unless he's gonna go to 140. I don't know. A unification with Mason would be good, but I think Raymond Tyler deserves a Shakur fight. If Shakur is on the campaign there, I would take that. I really hate all this. I want my fight my friend. Tyson said it best. If you're my friend, break bread with me. Yeah, I understand that, but if I look at it both ways though. If they keep saying they don't want to fight because of too much emotion, why we want to see it? Like I like to see fights that people say they want to fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. If like okay, I this is me. I'm not saying nobody else take my train of thought, but when I hear fighters diminish other fighters in their division or whatever, I don't want to see the fight no more. Like if you see a fighter say, "Well, he ain't did nothing," But all the fans saying, bro, that'd be a good fight. But then the fighter, the champion, is saying, man, like Alicia Baumgartner calling Caroline Dubois a puppy. I lose interest in that because you don't want to fight her or you're not talking like you want to fight her. But then, you know what I'm saying? So if those guys is not actively talking about fighting each other, then I don't want to see it. What they gonna get in the ring and just touch gloves and have a little nice little sparring match and get their bag and just trick y'all? Then what's gonna happen? Man, they didn't even try to fight. They robbed the fans, bro. If they don't want to fight, then why we pushing for it? It ain't like they holding up no division. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. And then a lot of these other guys, like I said, if the thing was if the energy was the same across the board, then I would understand what you're saying. But they ain't giving Fabio Wardley no heat for saying he's not gonna fight Moses. They didn't say nothing to the Charlos and shit when they ain't fought Lara for years because their kids went to school together. Come on. Y'all want to get them guys no heat. If it was today, y'all be like, oh, I understand. It's all about the narrative with Shakur and Keyshawn. A lot of people a lot of people don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So what's the best way to get them? Well, put them against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like they really holding up a division. It's not like that. There's a lot of guys in their division that they can fight, and it's not like a fight that mandated. Like, yo, it's just you and him right here. You got to fight now. It's not like that. There's a lot of guys at 140 that they can give or should fight Shakur or vice versa. It's a lot of guys out there makes for good fights with both guys. It's just a trash narrative people trying to push because they don't like them. I'm the only one that's going to say that. Ain't nobody else going to really put that out there like that. They just say, oh, no, they should fight, man. Friends should fight each other. Mike Tyson said this. Man, whatever. To me, that's some cap shit to me. He said, why you so, oh yeah. All right, 135. So we know more Tyler. Let's see what he does next. I like the Shakur fight. Shakur gonna come back down. I'll take it. I thought more Tyler looked good his last fight. Now Andy Cruz, salute to him. He's going to take that IBF final eliminator against Albert Bell. I like that. I'm presently surprised. I didn't know if he was going to come back to the division, but he accepted it. So Albert Bell, Andy Cruz, they're in negotiations. Let's see. Let's see where they can land that fight. Mark Marcios, he's going to Zuffa Boxing. He might make his debut in April. I like Alan Sanchez from Argentina. He's a southpaw. Joe Cordena looking like he's the debut mandatory for Abdullah Mason. Let me see who else they got. Lucas Body and Floyd Schofield. Look, they rated 12 and 13 here, but they like 1 and 2 in the WBA. They'll probably fight. I don't know how they're gonna do this because they still recognize Tank Davis as the WBA champion. So they've been talking about putting Tank in champion recess for the longest time. I'm not sure. So those guys supposed to fight because Lucas Body he turned down the IBF final eliminator because he was up there ranked at like the top two. So when you turn down an eliminator, the IBF will drop you down like 10 spots or whatever. So that's what they did to Lucas Body. And same thing for Floyd Schofield. He turned down opportunities too in the IBF. So they dropped those guys. It's not just them. It's a lot of cats on that BS. Yeah, but they the only two that people talk about though. I don't see a lot of people talking about the other guys. You know what I'm saying? Navarrete, he's a unified champion, WBO, IBF. He just had a great performance over Sugar Nunez, stopped him. Now he should have his WBO mandatory in place with Charlie Suarez. Charlie Suarez supposed to got the win. That was actually a punt, not a punt. That was a punch, not a headbutt, and they ruled it incorrectly. So he took step aside to allow this fight. So I can see Navarrete versus Suarez next. I can see that next. Let's see where they can put it at. Zerbeck and Jackson English, they're gonna fight for IBF final eliminator. They was ordered to fight. I was thinking Ray Ford would get in the mix. He trying to get the Shockey Foster fight, but that shit looking slim. You know what I'm saying? They trying to do it for April 25th, but I don't know. I don't know if that fight gonna happen. So we'll see. Uh, Let me see. Macho LeBron number 6. They got Nunez number 7. So maybe after he healed up, he can come back. Let me see. Len Wilson, Russell Brown. So they got some solid guys. Josh Padley, Rosen Consi. I ain't seen him in a minute in the ring. Michael Magnesi. Yo, Michael Magnesi might get the WBC title fight with Shockey Foster. I'm saying that because Michael Magnesi is like locked in with the WBC. If you know, you know. Ryan Gardner, number 15. So Ryan Gardner, he was a late addition to next week's card, March 14th, the card in Ireland with Jazza Dickens defending his WBA title against Anthony Kakashi. So it looked like Ryan Gardner gonna fight on the card. If he wins, he's gonna get the winner of the main event for the WBA. So that kind of rules out any unification with the WBA probably in the next couple of fights. All right, 126, Angelo Leo, IBF champion. He has mandatory, Raif Salim. Those guys actually went the purse bid. Manny Pacquiao Promotions beat out Pro Box to win the purse bid. So we wait for a date for Leo versus Raif Salim. I'm hearing they're trying to do a hometown fight for Alim. So that's Michigan. He's from Michigan. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work or where they're gonna put it at. But actually the matchup is pretty solid. I'll take the matchup. Omar Trinidad, Zuffa Boxing. Luis Nunez, that's a nice ranking for him. Maybe he can be the next mandatory, maybe. Nick Ball, number 6, former champion. Nathan Collins got a good fight coming up pretty soon. I forgot the date. I want to say April 17th. But he's going to run it back with Lorente. That's a WBC eliminator. Liam Davis is fighting on the 28th on the Moses card. I seen that Luis Neri is fighting pretty soon, too. He's going to face John Riel Casimero. That's a throwback. Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez. He's an up and coming fighter with RGBA. He's with Top Rank. He's actually fighting on the Pro Box card March 21st. Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Alim. So he'll be on that card. I like him. He's been active for sure. Junior featherweight 122. We know Naoya anyway is undisputed. The only undisputed male champion right now. He's going to fight Jonto Nakatani March the 2nd. That fight been announced. Big fight in Japan. This is basically the swan song for anyway at 22. There's nothing left to prove. You know what I'm saying? So I think he beats Nakatani, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? If him beat Nakatani is basically him cleaning out 122 twice. It's time to go to featherweight. You know what I'm saying? Time to go. Ryo Nashida, former champion at 118, he's now the mandatory for the winner of Inoue and Nakatani. So that's basically put him in a vacant title situation. Because I don't think Inoue is coming back to 22. I can't see it. It's not left to prove, to be honest. So Marlon Tapales, Sam Goodman, those guys want to get in position for sure. You know what I'm saying? Even these guys underneath them, Shabazz Masood, those guys, they may need if I'm one of them, I'm trying to get an eliminator for the number 2 spot. Because y'all know the IBF don't rank 1 and 2 unless you win an eliminator. So if I'm these guys underneath, I'm managing one of these guys, I'm like, bro, I need the number 2 spot ASAP. Because more than likely, if Inoue wins, he's vacated. And then you can fight 1 and 2 can fight for the vacant title. That would be my position if I had one of these fighters ranked. But it is what it is. 118. We have a good young champion right here. He just won the title. Jose Reyes. Pretty solid. Southpaw. I like him. Tall. Good boxer puncher. So he's in a good position as well where he can possibly unify in this division. We got the WBC champion Tacoma Inoue, who's going to fight Kazuka Aoka. That's gonna be May 2nd on that Monster and Juntu card. We got the WBO champion, that is Christian Medina, who signed with Matchroom. You got the WBA champion Susumi. He might, now from what I'm hearing, he's gonna fight Antonio Vargas, WBA. So, and Vargas is signed with Matchroom. So yeah, these guys, Reyes, he's in a good position right now that he can possibly get a big fight, especially if Bam is talking about coming up to 122. He could possibly fight Reyes. So we'll see. Lee Jackson, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. The IBF did order Eliminator at 118. Number 3, Kenny Lover versus number 5, Kasuma Askui. That's a good fight. I like Askui in that fight. He threw a lot of punches. Don't seem like he's a big puncher, but he be stopping a lot of guys. He's a good body puncher. He fights on pro box. Kenny Lover is a young Filipino fighter. He showed flashes of being good, but he kind of has some low. You know what I'm saying? He has some spots where he can improve for sure. So they ordered that fight. I want to see Michael Angeletti get a good fight in this division. We don't see a lot of brothers down here, so I'd be rooting for those. I'd be rooting for us. You know what I'm saying? So especially down here, because he got an opportunity to do some good business. There's some solid names. Number 4, Masuda is going to face the future Hall of Famer Nonito Donaire next week in Japan. Big fight for Donaire. You know what I'm saying? He's still kicking and rolling at 43 with that left hook. Masuda, he's an aggressive, good puncher. He a dangerous guy. I think he got all knockout wins. Got one loss, one and all knockouts. Tay in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. Let me see. Ioka versus Tacoma. Tenshin Nagasawa, number 9. He's facing Juan Francisco Estrada for the WBC final eliminator. And that's April the 11th. Andrew Kane, Jason Maloney. Jason Maloney is fighting April 23rd. 115 with Barlo Garcia. So this week, they had a purse bid for Garcia and his mandatory Andrew Maloney. Now I know this is a little quick educational purposes. Michael James 616. What's good with you, bro? So I know I mentioned 1 and 2. You can only get the 1 and 2 spot when you win the eliminator. That's how they determine their mandatory. Now, Andrew Maloney is number 3. He didn't win the eliminator. But how we got here is like 3 fighters turned him down for the final eliminator. Because due to money. It's not a lot of money in that fight. But they turned him down. So when those 3 guys turned him down, his team went to the IBF and said, let us be mandatory. Nobody want to fight us. You know what I'm saying? For whatever situation. And they granted that. So that's why the number 3 guy here at 115 is the mandatory. That happened when Caleb Plant was champion. His 2 mandatories. What's that dude name he fought? The German guy. Fazenboots. Fazenboots was number 3. That was his mandatory. And then Caleb Truax was number 3. So it does happen from time to time. So I just want a little disclaimer for some education purposes. I want to make sure everybody's straight across the board. So they had a purse bid. Who won it? Kameda Promotions won that. So that's going to go to Japan. It's an 85-15 split. So that's a big difference. If you're the mandatory, you actually win eliminator and be number 1. So this purse split is 65-35. But if you don't win a mandatory, then the purse split is 85-15. So that's crazy. So let's think about that. Andrew Maloney turned down $250K to take step aside to allow Bam Rodriguez to fight Garcia in Undisputed. Now he's taking a $200K pay cut because he only gonna make $47,000 at 15% to fight Garcia. That's crazy business. That's crazy business. And this day and time, bro, you take that bread, especially if you're probably not going to beat Bam Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? You take the bread. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see. I guess he won the IBF title so bad. It'd be crazy if we go over there and lose too. It'd be crazy. Then okay, 112. I like my guy, Masamichi Yabuki, one of the best fighters, action packed fighters in boxing. Y'all gotta tap in if you don't know. If you know, you know. I'm pushing for Yabuki to get the Bam fight. If you need an opponent, fight my guy Yabuki, who's gonna bring that smoke. So we'll see. It talks about him coming back in a couple of months. Not in a unification, which I think he deserves one. We have a unified champion at 112, Ricardo Sandoval, WBC and WBA. He's a solid fighter with Golden Boy. And then we have the WBO champion, Anthony Oscawaga, who's making a title defense March the 15th. So, Boogie probably fight somebody in the top 15. You know what I'm saying? Coming up May or June. So we'll see what's up. I like him. 108, the champion from Thailand, Semstri. So he's going to fight his IBF mandatory, Sergio Mendoza. This young fighter he's very talented. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of knockouts. They supposed to fight April 13th. So y'all tap in with that. I think they fighting in Japan. Semstri's only loss was to Yabuki, I believe. Yeah. So that should be a pretty solid fight. Look out for that one. Also in this division, unified, we have a unified champion, Rene Santiago from Puerto Rico, unified. He has a fight coming up too. Let me see. Number 4, Eric Badilio. He fights with ProBox. He's supposed to be back on the veto card April the 11th, but he's the WBC mandatory. He should get his opportunity sometime this year. I had to mention that one. And then 105, we have the champion right here, Pedro Todoran, probably the biggest puncher, one of the biggest punchers down here, Filipino fighter. He's fighting on a Manny Pacquiao promoted card April the 3rd. So he's making the title defense. We want to see him unify this division. We got 2 other champions. We got the WBC champion, Melvin Jerusalem, who has a title defense coming up in South Africa. He's gonna fight the guy he last fought on the Thriller Manila card. And then we got a unified champion, uh, Oscar Collazo, who is fighting next week on the Golden Boy card, March 14th. So, yeah, yo, we got to get unified in this division for sure. Especially, look, they got Oscar Collazo on the Ring Magazine top 10 pound for pound list. So, in order to secure that ranking, he got to go undisputed because I don't think he's better than a lot of guys that's not on that list. But he's a great fighter though. He can do his thing. I just don't think he's better than like guys that's not on the list. So we'll see. So my biggest takeaway, of course, Danny Garcia coming to the new rankings at 154. That's very interesting to me because Danny fought his last fight in October. Supposed to be it was a farewell fight. And that was in October. So the rankings came out November, December, January, February. 4 months then passed. Now in March, Danny hops into the new rankings. I'm just saying. I don't know if they was waiting for a request or waiting for a fight to get solidified, to get finalized for him to actually get put in the rankings. The IBF don't normally do this. Now, it's a little bit of justification because at least Danny fought within a year. A lot of times with the WBA and WBC, guys just pop out the blue. Guys ain't fought since 2023. And then you look at the rankings, they in the rankings, number 4. So I get it. Maybe Danny don't deserve this ranking because he ain't really been active at 154. But I'm just saying, maybe they got a deal in place. That happened a couple of months ago. Gustavo Limos, before the fight was announced with him and Adam Azim, he popped into the new rankings. I'm like, hold on. Oh, he must got something coming. Now he's coming off a couple of wins. I think one or two wins since he lost to Keyshawn. So that can kind of justify him being in the rankings. But when they, I always pay close attention when they pop in. So I'm like, hold check, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's something to this. Because this just don't happen. It gotta be they talk about the sanction. Like the IBF, I don't know if you guys know this, they very, very you know, precise with their rulings and they send out letters. So if you're a champion with the IBF, you know that you have a mandatory coming. Like before you sign a contract to fight anybody else, they tell you. So that's why when these fighters be like, bro, about the man, they know. They know. That's why, like, when I hear Hitchens talk, I'm like, bro, this dude's, he called out everybody except his mandatory. That's the fight that's probably next. And they trick you with that. You know what I'm saying? They throw these other names that we know fans going to want to talk about. But at the end of the day, the IBF don't play. They're going to let you know, bro, you got a voluntary. You know what I'm saying? You have, okay, this is where Hitchens this is what happened with him in his situation. Just to give you guys some context. Hitchens' his last fight was against Cambosis. That was actually a mandatory. That's funny, right? But it was a mandatory. Cambosis was number 3, right? He didn't win the eliminator, but he was number 3 at the time. So they thought, okay, let's get our mandatory out the way so we can try to get a unification. So they was trying to get the Teofimo fight. It didn't work out. But in the IBF, you have 9 months. You have 9 months to do your mandatory, right? So that basically put him in March, April, May, June, yeah, in like March. So he had to fight his mandatory, at least sign the fight of mandatory in March by March 2026. So he had a short window to do a voluntary. That's why he was trying to get on the January card. Didn't work out. So I was like, all right, let's put you on the February card, but we're gonna give you Duarte, a tough fight. That didn't play out. So they wasn't gonna strip him. I know people are like, yo, strip him. No, they weren't gonna strip him. He got sick. You know what I'm saying? That's what it came out. He got sick. They're not gonna strip him for that. If he wouldn't have made weight, they would have stripped him. He made weight both times. So now once he didn't make that fight, they're like, oh yeah, time is up. You gotta fight your mandatory. And they order that shit the next week. So the IBF don't be fucking around. You know when your mandatory is coming. You know what I'm saying? When they say, "Oh, the IBF just stripped them," bro, you know you get everybody get a letter. Whoever involved with your career, the manager, the promoter, the side dude, whoever, they get a they get a letter saying, "Hey, bro, you won the title in June. All right, you got a certain amount of time. You got like what I think they say." You got to fight 60 days prior or 30. I forgot the timing of it. I got to reread it. But you got, let's say 60 days. So your mandatory is due March 28th. You have to fight, you got to at least have a fight done 60 days prior to your mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. So it's just, they're not going to tell the fans that because they need to keep their credibility. You know what I'm saying? I say, bro, just keep it a buck. You feel me? Just keep it a buck. And Hitchens, somebody said it earlier that he's starving, or somebody said that I forget who said this, but he's starving to keep that IBF title because if he basically that's his only marketing piece. You know what I'm saying? Because if Hitchens wasn't a champion, who gonna fight him? Or how he gonna get fights? And he's not locked in with guys that got bread. He seemed like a Zuffa fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Uh, yeah, I think him leaving Eddie Hearn maybe been his worst mistake because he's not a guy that can go get fights and sell out events on his own. He need a promoter. You know what I'm saying? Some guys need a promoter, some guys don't. Like really, Keyshawn might not need a promoter, but Hitchens need one. Even though he talk his shit, he we don't know if he can sell out. we seen Keyshawn sell out in Norfolk, so we know he can go home and sell out. We don't know if Hitchens can go sell out the theater or Brooklyn Barclays or whatever, right? So, politics of boxing. That's what it is. So yeah, man, that's my time. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate the time. Salute to the playback too. Salute to the playback as always. So we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna do I don't know. We're gonna do some news and notes. It wasn't like a crazy fight week, so we'll cover some of the fights in the last couple of days. Right after the Zuffa card, we'll probably do another quick live just to recap that and all that good stuff. See what's happening with Obatalia and Glanton, and then we'll keep it going. Um, yeah, man, we're into March. Starting to pick the schedule. Gonna start picking up. I know we got March Madness and stuff, so we might not have a crazy March, but we do got some fights in March though. Pro Box got 3 cards in March. That's dope. I fuck with Pro Box crazy. Um, Moses is fighting at the end of March, so we got some good stuff coming though. Yeah, so y'all stay locked in. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate the time, and I'm off. You ready?